This video is going to be super interesting. In this video, we will discuss a very famous mathematician, Terrence. I'm sure you must have heard his name. Many people say that he is the greatest mathematician currently alive today. Now, in this video, we will discuss a very old paper that he took at the age of just 7. So, he was just aged 7. I think the year was 1983. And he was presented 8 questions on basic mathematics. These are those 8 questions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now, even though these questions were printed, but he was not allowed to use pen and paper, and he had to solve them mentally without using any pen and paper. All of these questions were, I think, from a very famous book of Krupetsky. You can check that book online, right? So let us try to solve them one by one. And if you want to try, then you can pause the video and you can solve all these questions on your own. The only thing is that you should not use pen and paper. You should try to solve them mentally, right? And please let me know in the comment section that how many questions were you able to solve correctly, and also your age or currently what class you are in, right? So let us try to solve them one by one. So the first question is, two circles have radii equal to 2 centimeter and 3 centimeter. The distance between their centers is 4 centimeter. Do they intersect? Okay, so let's try to think this mentally first. So we have two circles. One circle has radius 2 centimeter and another circle has radius of 3 centimeter. But the distance between them is only 4 centimeter. Now think of this. If we have two circles side by side and their radius is 2 centimeter and 3 centimeter, so the minimum distance between their centers, if I don't want them to intersect, this has to be greater than the sum of their radius, right? 2 centimeter plus 3 centimeter, that is 5 centimeter. But this question says that the distance between their centers is only 4 centimeter. So obviously they have to intersect, right? They have to intersect. There is no other choice. Now let's now use pen and paper. So let's say we have 2 centimeter and we have 3 centimeter. So you can see here the minimum distance between these two centers has to be 2 plus 3, which is 5. But the question says that this is 4 centimeters. So obviously they have to intersect, right? This is not the correct representation, rather they have to intersect somewhere. So this is the first question. I'm sure that you would have been able to solve this question mentally. Now let's move on to the second question. What angle does an hour hand describe in 20 minutes? Okay, now this is a very easy question. If we have a clock, then the whole angle that it covers is 360 degree, right? But the hour hand covers 360 degree in 12 hours. It takes 12 hours to cover whole 360 degree. But I am concerned only with 20 minutes. So how will I solve? This is a basic unitary method question, right? So if in 12 hours I cover, let's say 360 degree. So in 1 hour I will cover 360 by 12. That would be 30 degree, right? But in 20 minutes, that is again 1/3 of 1 hour, right? So 30 degree by 3, that is 10 degree. So this is the answer, 10 degree. So I did not use any pen and paper. You should also not use any pen and paper. You should first think in your mind that how can we solve this question. Now let's try to solve using pen and paper. I will now write the solution. So see, we have 12 hour and the hour hand covers 360 degree in 12 hours. So in 1 hour, 360 by 12, that would be 30 degree. So in 20 minutes, 20 minutes is what? 1 by 3 hour, right? So 30 degree into 1 by 3. So from here I will get 10 degree. So we have our answer as 10 degree. So these two questions are done. Both of them were very easy. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so A1 question. A can of kerosene weighs 8 kilogram. Half the kerosene is poured out of it, after which the can weighs 4.5 kilogram. What is the weight of empty can? Okay. Now don't get confused by the words of this question, right? A can of kerosene weighs 8 kilogram. Fine. Half the kerosene is poured out of it, after which the can weighs 4.5 kilogram. Okay, so it means that there is some weight of that can also, and we have to find the weight of that empty can. So if I'm pouring half of kerosene and my weight is reduced to 4.5 kilogram from 8, so what is the loss of weight? The loss of weight is 3.5 kilograms, right? 3.5 kilograms. It means that total kerosene is double of that, because that was half. So 3.5 into 2, that would be 7 kilograms. It means that the kerosene was 7 kilogram, but since the total weight is 8 kilograms, so I will subtract 7 from 8 and I will get 1 kilogram. That is the weight of empty can, right? I hope you understood the logic. Now let's try to solve it using pen and paper. Okay, so we have, let's say, kerosene plus can. I am denoting kerosene by K and empty can by C. The whole weight is 8 kilogram. Now it says that kerosene, after pouring the kerosene, half of kerosene out, it weighs 4.5 kilogram. So can I say that kerosene by 2 is nothing but 8 minus 4.5, right? 4.5, I am denoting it in decimal form. So from here I will get 3.5 kilogram. So from here I will get kerosene as 3.5 into 2 equal to 7 kilograms. Now I will plug this value here and kerosene I can find. So therefore kerosene will be 8 minus 7 equal to 1. So this is the answer. The weight is nothing but 1 kilogram. So all these three questions are done. Now let's move on to the V1 question. What time is it now if the time which passed since noon constitutes a third of the time that remains until midnight? Okay, so this is also a very interesting question. So currently I am at a time which constitutes a third of the time that is still remaining till midnight. Okay. So the time that has passed is one third of the remaining time. Okay. So can I say that the total time is 12 hours, right? Total time is 12 hours. And the time that has elapsed is 1/4 of that. So 1/4 is 3 hours. So from noon, 3 hours would be 3 p.m. right? So the answer is 3 p.m. I hope you understood. Now let us using, so see, we have this clock, right? And this is 12, this is 3, this is 6, this is 9. So I have denoted the 4 quarters. This says that I am at a time which is 3 times, the remaining time is 3 times of the elapsed time. So this is the elapsed time, right? This is the elapsed time, 3 hours, and the remaining one is 9 hours. Okay, so that would be the logic here. And this is a very easy question once you think. So the current time is 3 p.m. since I am counting the time since noon. Okay, now let's move on to the next question, M2. I walk from home to a school in 30 minutes and my brother takes 40 minutes. My brother left 5 minutes before I did. In how many minutes will I overtake him? Now this is a good question actually. So there are two people, let's say I and my brother. Okay. So I take 30 minutes to go from home to a school, and my brother takes 40 minutes. But since my brother left 5 minutes before I did, then I have to find the position where I overtake him, because I'm fast, right? Because I'm taking only 30 minutes, but my brother is slow and he's taking 10 minutes more than I. Now, in order to overtake, can I say that both have to be at the same position, right? So what could be a good, I would say, good position of estimate? So the thing is, since I'm taking 30 minutes, let us focus on the midpoint, right? So in 15 minutes, I will be at the midpoint, but to reach midpoint, my brother will take 20 minutes, right? Because he takes 40 minutes. And since he has left 5 minutes before, so in 20 minutes, he will be at the same position, at the mid position where I am currently, right? In the 15 minutes. So my 15 minutes is equivalent to his 20 minutes. But since he has left 5 minutes before, so we are both at the same position at the same time. Now I will overtake him, right? So the correct answer is 15 minutes from where I started. Okay. So Let us try to think of this way. So this is I, and this is my, let's say, this is my brother. Okay. This is a time, let's say, this is the time equal to 0 from where I start. But since my brother has started 5 minutes before, so he would be already some distance ahead, right? This is the timeline. This is not the distance line. So he would be at some position, let's say here. Now, since I start from t equal to 0, at the half position, let's say this is a half position. So here I am after 15 minutes because I take 30 minutes, right? My brother will take 20 minutes to reach here because he takes 40 minutes to cover the whole distance. But since he has started 5 minutes before, he will be also here. So he will be also here at the same time, that is 15 minutes after I started. So we are both at the same position, but he has reached it before, right? Because he has started much earlier than I do. So now at this position we are both at the same time, but since my speed is faster than him, then I will overtake him now from this position at 15 minutes time, t equal to 15. Now here you can use the distance, time and speed formula as well, but you can solve it using mathematics as well, but I will leave that as an exercise for you, right? So you can put that mathematical logic in the comment section. We can have a discussion there. I'm not going to solve it completely using the basic mathematics. Okay. So all these are done. This is also done. Fifth question is also done. Now let's move on to the sixth question. The perimeter of a right angle triangle is 5 centimeter. Two of its sides are each 2 centimeter long. How long is the third side? Okay, so let's first solve it without using pen and paper. Okay, so we have 5 centimeter perimeter and two of its sides are 2 centimeter long. Okay, so how long is the third side? So obviously the third side would be 1 centimeter, right? Because 2 plus 2 and I need 1 centimeter more to complete my perimeter of 5 centimeter. But catch over here is that can the third side be 1 centimeter? We have to ascertain that, right? And the answer is no. Why? Because you are saying that your two sides are each 2 centimeter long. It means that both are same length, right? They both are equal. Now, can the hypotenuse be equal? No, right? Hypotenuse has to be greater than other two sides, right? So it means that I'm finding the hypotenuse, the largest side. But the largest side is coming smaller than the other two sides. So obviously it is not possible, right? I hope you understood the logic. Now, if you were not able to understand, then let's now use pen and paper. What I'm saying is the total perimeter is 5 centimeter. And the question says that two of its sides, let's say these two sides, are equal, 2 centimeter and 2 centimeter. Now don't say that the hypotenuse can be equal sided. A hypotenuse and other sides can never be equal. This has to be the greatest side, right? Why? Because we have, let's say this is hypotenuse and this is perpendicular and this is base. So hypotenuse is always perpendicular square plus base square, right? So this has to be greater than these two sides. Now here since I have 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, so this side will be 2 square plus 2 square, that would be 2 root 2. But since my perimeter is 5 centimeter, I am finding that my side length is 1 centimeter, this hypotenuse. But obviously this is not possible, right? 1 centimeter can never be equal to 2 root 2 centimeter. So it means that this is a not possible case. Not possible to construct such a right angle triangle. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So all these are done. Okay, D question. How many triangles are there? Okay. Now this is a very common pattern of questions. See, the 4 triangles are very easy to observe. These 4 are smaller triangle, right? 4 smaller triangle. Now let's focus on the larger one. So let's focus on this one, this triangle. This is dividing this larger triangle, this one and this one and this one, right? So 2 triangles. Now let's focus on now this. This diagonal is also dividing this triangle and this triangle. So 2 more triangles. So 4 is smaller and 2 slightly larger, so 8 triangles are total. Right? So such questions are very common in logic tests. You must have seen such questions. It's a very easy question. Okay, now let's move on to the last question. A class received some regular and some special notebooks, and all together there were 80 notebooks. A regular notebook costs 20 cents and a special notebook costs 10 cents. How many of each kind of notebook did the class receive? Okay, so we have total 80 notebooks, and those notebooks are divided into two types, regular and special, right? A regular notebook costs 20 cents and a special 10 cents. Okay, and we have to find the each kind of notebook. If you notice here, we know the total notebooks, we know the individual prices as well of each type, right? But we don't know the total cost. So how will we be able to find that how many types of each kind of notebooks are there, right? It is not possible. Why? Because think of it like this. So there are 80 notebooks. I have to divide them into regular and special. Cost is 20 cents, special one is 10 cents. And I have to find that how many regulars are there and how many specials are there. But there is no restriction on total cost, right? Here I have the liberty, since total cost is not involved, here I have the liberty to choose, let's say, this 60 notebooks and this 20 notebooks, or let's say this 10 notebooks, this 70 notebooks. So here I have no restriction on the cost. So I cannot say uniquely that how many notebooks are there of each type, right? So you can say that this is not possible to determine. Not possible to determine. And why is it not possible to determine? Because total cost is not given. Total cost is not given. Since total cost is not given, there is no way that we can ascertain that how many types of each notebooks are there. Okay. So these were all the 8 questions. I hope you tried first on your own and then you can cross check your answers. Okay, let's quickly recap all the questions, all the answers of these questions, right? So the first one was yes, it intersects. The second was 10 degree. The third was 1 kilogram. The fourth one is 3 pm. This question was 15 minutes, right? This is not possible. Why? Because my hypotenuse was coming smaller than the other two sides, which is not possible in a right angle triangle. How many triangles are there? So this was 8 triangles, and this was not possible to determine. Not possible to determine. Okay, so these are 8 questions, answers of 8 questions. You can cross check your answers if you want. That's why I've recapped all the answers here. Now, one thing you have to do. So Terrence took, I think, 9 minutes to solve all of these 8 questions mentally. He did not use a single piece of paper or pen, right? So you have to tell me in the comment section. Tell me in the comment section that how many questions. First thing, how many questions you were able to solve correctly. The second thing you have to tell the time taken, right? Time taken. Right. Since Terrence took 9 minutes, let's see how much time you took to solve these 8 questions. Obviously, all of these questions were easy, right? I would say this is not more than 7th grade. Not a single question of them is higher than 7th grade or at max 8th grade. So anyone would expect you to solve all such questions, and that too mentally, because there is not much of calculation in any question. Now, except this question, this distance question, that overtake question, this may take some time for you because there are some calculations involved, right? But even if you think logically, then you can solve this question. But if you go a mathematical route, then obviously you will have to use those time, speed, distance formulas, right? And that I have left you for as an exercise. So please let me know in the comment section that how did you solve that question. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. this was a good perspective to look at old questions, because these are some fun exercises, right? At higher level, we don't solve such questions actually, but it is a good thing to look at the history of mathematics, some interesting mathematics questions, even though they are easy, but those are fun to solve. Okay, now if you want to recommend some other papers, past papers, then also you can put it in comment section, or some request videos that some topics that you want videos on, right? If you have any feedback for me to improve content, then also you can put it in comment section. So happy learning. Let's meet in some other videos. Thank you.